Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're unpacking a concept that sounds completely wild at first, but is absolutely crucial to understanding the bleeding edge of Web3 decentralized finance. We're going to look at how a 1950s direct mail magazine sweepstakes perfectly explains what's happening right now in crypto.
So let's jump right in with a pretty provocative question. How do you actually summon a genius to build your reality? Top-tier venture capitalists are completely rethinking their entire playbook right now. Instead of just blindly chasing founders around, they're actively trying to summon them to build highly specific infrastructure.
To really get this, we have to contrast two very different models. First, think about the traditional VC casino. It's basically burning through capital on vanity metrics, treating founders like disposable lottery tickets. But there's a massive shift happening towards what we call the VC clearinghouse. This is an alternative model where they publish undeniable mathematical truths to draw builders into a sustainable 10-year vineyard.
The engine driving this whole shift? It's a mind-bending concept called hyperstition. Simply put, it's the incredible power of deep hype and socio-technical fictions to literally make themselves real. It's when a theoretical narrative gets so much momentum that it physically catalyzes real-world changes and brings itself into concrete existence.
And this brings us to our core metaphor. Think back to 1953. The Publishers Clearinghouse used a massive sweepstakes win, like that giant novelty check, to sell boring, recurring magazine subscriptions. Modern VC does the exact same thing. They use the intellectual lure of a hyperfictional white paper, they manifest a highly visible win like the functional orb-swapped app, all to capture the real prize, the underlying subscription. And in this case, that means capturing the highly valuable ERC 7827 ledger.
Section 1. Paradigm's Orbital Lure.
Let's look at the ultimate sweepstakes lure. The venture studio Paradigm operates almost like a high-fidelity research lab, and they've published what they literally call fictions that make themselves real. By putting these complex mathematical substrates out into the world, they set the rules of the game. If you want to be a successful founder here, you absolutely have to build on their math. They are quite literally writing the future into existence.
To see how they pull this off, we have to look at the sheer scale of the problem they posed. 10,000. As stablecoins scale up to handle 10,000 different assets, traditional two-asset automated market makers, well, they completely fail. The old math just shatters at that scale.
Their solutions sound straight out of sci-fi. They proposed generalizing liquidity into an n-dimensional spherical shell. This acts as a mathematical window, and it was the ultimate intellectual sweepstakes lure, just tossed out there, waiting for brilliant developers to try and crack it.
And man, this did not stay theoretical for long. Just look at how fast this moved. Early June 2025, the orbital white paper drops. The lure is set. By late June, brilliant minds gather at the Greece Math Retreat. And by late 2025, we get the clinical realization of this into physical manifestation with OrbSwap.
Section 2. The Greece Math Retreat.
So at this retreat, they achieved something incredible to resolve this liquidity crisis. They actually mapped higher-order time derivatives, which, hilariously enough, physicists call snap, crackle, and pop, into physical 5th, 6th, and 7th dimensions within the AMM state machine. It's wildly complex, but basically, it allowed for precise trajectory planning in the liquidity manifold.
Section 3. OrbSwap. Manifesting the win.
This brings us directly to OrbSwap, the functional dApp that acts as the fair copy of that Greece retreat. OrbSwap actually improved on Paradigm's theoretical shell by deploying a self-correcting superellipse invariant. This concentrates capital density for over 100 stablecoin assets simultaneously, flawlessly bypassing messy tick management. It is the ultimate sweepstakes win for the ecosystem.
Section 4. The Sovereign Subscription Core.
But remember the catch. The real value for the VC isn't that flashy OrbSwap dApp. The whole sweepstakes was designed simply to align developers to use specific LIFO ledgers, specifically the ERC 7827 standard. By doing this, the VC captures that underlying subscription. They get a bit-perfect record of sweat, ensure non-halting, deterministic execution, and completely bypass the automated cloud kingship. They archive undeniable truth straight to localized hardware.
And this is where Hyperstition literally becomes hard, undeniable, legal reality. This mathematical certainty perfectly aligns with New York's new UCC Article 12, which turns these specific cryptographic ledgers into legally protected, controllable electronic records, or CERs. The fiction manifested so perfectly that it's synchronized with state commercial law, governed purely by math.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a critical question for your own projects. With this massive shift happening right beneath our feet, will you blindly pull the lever in the traditional, destructive VC casino, hoping for a lucky ticket? Or are you going to build your legacy on the undeniable, sovereign truth of the math? Think about it. Thanks for hanging out with me today.